Dear trainees of B.Ed program, how are you? I welcome you all to today's session. I am A.N.M. Tofail Hussain, lecturer in English, School of Education, Bangladesh Open University. Today we will discuss on classroom management, lesson 15 from Teaching English 1. I think all of you are informed by this time about the topic of today's session, and that is why this is my expectation that you all are prepared with your classroom materials, I mean the textbook and other equipments. You may take note from this today's lecture if it is required or you think so. So, dear trainees, let us start our discussion, I mean the topic of classroom management. So, a classroom, what does a classroom management means? Classroom management means handling the classroom properly from the very first minute to the last second of the class, which may help a teacher to attain the learning outcomes of the classroom. So, actually the definition of classroom management is not fixed, something rigid one. So, it varies from teacher to teacher, but the ultimate result or focus should be to attain the learning outcome. So, an effective and efficient classroom management includes the following issues. The first one is physical learning environment of the class. What does physical learning environment includes? It is nothing but structural design of that particular building in where the classroom is situated, the quality of air, light, temperature status and design of the building, which ensure a learning environment. If this sort of physical environment of the classroom is not ensured, then it will be very tough for the teachers or people like you to handle the class effectively. If there is no light, electricity or a fan, the student will not be motivated to your classroom or the lecture. Usually they feel bored, they make different sort of noise, and finally they will not concentrate to the discussion of the classroom, and as a result the class will not be a effective one. So, before entering the classroom as a teacher, you should ensure the physical learning environment of your classroom. Rapport between you and your students. Rapport means building relationship, and this sort of relationship will be absolutely positive relationship. I mean the impression of you among your students. If you are rigid in your movement, gesture, posture and above all your delivery about the topic, then the students will not feel comfort, they will be afraid of you. So, you must be comfortable to them, and this must be created from the very beginning of the classroom and particularly and absolutely from the very beginning of the year or session. So, because as a teacher you know that first impression lasts long. So, it is your duty to make your student feeling free in an learning environment, so that they may be curious on that particular topic. Rapport should be created, students feel encouraged in learning, and as a result learning outcome will be achieved easily. So, the main point regarding rapport between teacher and student is you should make your student feeling free, and if they feel comfort and free to you, they will be motivated in the topic. The next elements or issues related to classroom management is classroom instruction, I mean the medium of instruction, in which language you will deliver your lecture in the class. So, as a teacher of English, this is our expectation, and this should be that your medium of instruction or delivery should be in English. Initially, you will face difficulties. What sort of difficulties you may face? Student will not feel free, they will be in trouble, they will face different sort of problems, they will not understand what you are delivering. This is not your shortcomings, rather it is our national problem. I mean, we all, English is our second language, so it is very much natural that we will not feel actually comfort when we deliver our lecture in English, because English is our second language. So, initially both you and your students will feel discomfort, they will not feel interested to your lecture if you deliver your lecture in English. But in spite of that, you should continue your lecture in English. If you continue it 2 or 3 months, or even it is in 6 months, I think your student will accustomed to this sort of classroom instruction. What is the positive achievement of delivering the lecture in English? The student will develop listening skill, speaking skills, enriching vocabulary, and above all they will be accustomed to speaking English, listening English. So, this is very much useful classroom instruction, I think, and above all, if you continue your lecture in English, they will keep silent. The next point I would like to discuss with you or share with you the classroom instruction. I mean the mood of your delivery in the classroom, in which language you will conduct the class to the students. So, this is each and everyone expectation that as a teacher of English, you should speak English in the classroom, throughout the classroom. If you conduct the class in English, initially you may face different problem, and your student will also face different sort of problems. They will not understand what you are speaking, or which the course content will not be clear to them. They will not be motivated in the course class content. But if you continue it a little bit more time, I mean 3 or 4 months or 6 months, I think your students will get accustomed to this sort of classroom instruction. So, my dear colleagues, this is my request to all of you to continue your classroom instruction in English, so that your student can accustom to the classroom instruction in English. If you continue this classroom instruction, they will accustom, one day they will be accustomed to your classroom instruction. And what is the advantage of this sort of classroom instruction in English? This will make your students making development listening skill, speaking skill, reading and writing activities. You may take the floor open for all the students, so that they can voluntarily take part in different activities. As a result, the student will ensure their confidence in the classroom. Another activity you may apply as classroom activity, group work or pair work. Group work or pair work is considered one of the most important classroom activities to manage the class smoothly. You may divide the whole classroom depending on the total number of students and engage them in group work or pair work, so that the learning outcome can be achieved easily. Another option for organizing activities in the classroom is that you may call the students on the stage to perform any activity whichever may suit that particular student. This activity may be on listening activity, speaking activity, writing activity or reading activity. The next point I would like to discuss in today's session is maintaining discipline in the classroom, which is considered as the most vital and prominent classroom activities. So, what is discipline can be maintained in the following ways. You may arrange seat plan for the students. Arranging seat plan is another important elements in arranging classroom management properly, because if you arrange the seat number or if you use any number or even the names of the students are written over there, it will be very easy to them to sit down on the classroom, and this will ensure your classroom management effectively. Another important topic for classroom management is memorizing the names of the student. If you memorize their name and call them their particular name, they feel proud, they feel honored that the name, his or her name is maintained by the teacher, and it will be very easier for you to maintain discipline in the classroom. Next point is you should call them by their name, and another important topic for classroom management is making eye contact with the students. If you maintain eye contact with all of the students, they acknowledge that the teacher is very serious and sincere to the class lecture. And another prominent issue regarding classroom management is your classroom delivery. I mean, the voice should be clear and loud, I mean the audible, sensible to the student. If the students will not understand your voice clearly, they will fail to understand the course content. Another important topic regarding maintaining discipline in the classroom, you should bear in mind that the usual classroom in our country is very large. Almost in one section there are almost 80 to 100 students, and there is no well modern amenities in the classroom or even in the speaker in the classroom. So, you must maintain loud voice in the classroom. You should reach the last bench of the backbencher of the students, and then your classroom will be effective one. So, you should maintain loud voice in the classroom. Along with the above mentioned techniques, you should also consider the use of authentic resources in the classroom. If your resources are not authentic, so the total class or total procedure will be in vain. So, you should always be sincere and careful about the use of authentic resources in the classroom. And proper time management is another important thing. You should divide the total class hour for calling attendance, making feedback, making the student warm up, and activities, and also for the homework. So, proper time management is another important issue regarding the classroom management. Finally, we can conclude that classroom management includes everything that starts from the very first minute to the last second of the classroom. At the end of the session, I would like to suggest you to attend the classes arranged by Bangladesh Open University at your nearest study center. Besides, if you have more queries regarding classroom management, you can contact us with the following address: Dean, School of Education, Bangladesh Open University, Gazipur 1705. Wishing all the best to you, and this is my expectation that from after today's session you will implement our discussed topics to manage your class effectively and efficiently. Thank you.